It's Ebro in the morning. Rosenberg, Laura Stiles,
Fact.
Justin Gatlin, Olympics 2016 Rio. He's about to take out Usain Bolt. Get this gold back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light?
Why right now? Why right now?
Because we have an Olympian here.
All right.
I'm trying to pay respect.
And you see, he had his.
Oh, he did?
It's just instinct. You know, you got to put your hand over your heart. You got to look for the flag somewhere in the room.
Now, Justin, are you very much hoping that Usain Bolt is healthy enough to compete?
He will be healthy, and I'm a competitor, man. So I don't want to go into Olympics where it's going to be
an asterisk.
A non-Usain Bolt, and it's going. I want to see us in the record book.
That's right.
Man. I want to be able to look and say, as an old man, talk to my grandkids, like, look, this is your grandfather here with Usain Bolt. You know, I want to do that.
Would that be the pinnacle? Like, is he in the conversation of the true all-time greats?
Of course. I mean, he has set a new era of sprinting. So, you know, as a competitor, you know, it's our obligation, our duty to be able to either push the envelope to make him a better athlete or beat him. You know, that's what we do. But a lot of those athletes kind of just bow down to it and just sit back and just watch, you know, from afar.
I'm looking at your, let's see here. Your Olympic Games, you do have a gold, yes?
Yes.
What year did you get a gold?
2004.
And what was that for?
100 meters.
100 meters. You got a gold in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
World Championships, you have 2 golds there.
Yes, double gold, 2005.
World Indoor Championships, you just dominate.
Oh. Yeah.
That's like your thing.
Is that your best thing?
I'm known to be the best starter in the world, so I've kind of taken on that title in the last couple of years as being the best starter in the world.
Okay.
You're 34 now.
I'm 34. I'm a dinosaur.
Yeah, you're no spring chicken.
I'm no spring chicken, man.
You can't let that get into your mind though, like because. From my understanding of sprinters, I never was, but from guys I know that do it, it's literally all instinct. You train for that start gun. And then you either have trained to have the right form and the right starts and the right foot placement and the right everything or nah. Like there's no gray. You either got it or you don't. And thinking about age and physical injuries, all that's out the window. You don't have time for it.
Yeah, I mean, I just gauge myself basically off my teammates. And the teammates I train with right now, they're like 25, 24, 26. And they have more aches and pains than I do. And the only reason is because I learned to evolve. Like, when I get older, I recognize my habits and have to change my habits to be able to be a better athlete. And I think as athletes, no matter what the sport is, we get caught up in our habits. So it might be pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, chilling late night, going out partying.
Chasing women.
Exactly. So that all that kind of comes into play as you become an older person. Even with the success you have, you still want to do that. So I had to make sure that I kind of put that stuff to the side,
Your son puts a lot of heat on you.
Oh, man, he does. He does. I didn't realize he knew who I was or what I did until this year.
Wait, how old is your son?
He's 6 now.
Okay. Oh, so he's definitely on full Google mode, showing everyone. Do you know who my dad is?
That's exactly what he said at Olympic trials. I took him around. I took him around the victory lap with me, and people were chanting his name. They didn't know his name yet, so they were like, Justin's son.
Hilarious.
So the next day, I'm getting ready for the 200 after I won the 100, and he's in the stands like, hey, do you know who I am? I'm Justin Gatlin's son. I'm Justin Gatlin's son.
All right,
like, chill
man.
out now.
Calm down.
Calm down. So I like, all right, you gotta chill, man.
What's the expectation for you at this year?
Just win, man. Last year was all about time and records and trying to be the best, trying to be consistent. And this year, it's not even about time anymore. It's not a number, it's a letter, it's a W. I just want to take it back to the roots where, when you running light pole to light pole, fire hydrant, where you just were trying to get it in as good as you could.
What are your events this year?
100 meters, 200 meters, and the relay.
So you would have Bolt in all of those?
Yes.
And how scary a proposition is that?
Not too scary for the simple because I've raced him over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys have been toe to toe several times now.
We've been toe to toe, and I enjoy it though. To be honest, man, I mean, it's just a competitor in me, and I think that when we see each other, we know we have to be on our A game. So he doesn't want to race me around the world all the time because it would just be a battle everywhere. You know, it'd be on like Dragon Ball Z where it's just
Did
explosions
I
in the air.
just hear you say that Usain Bolt was afraid to race you? I think that's what I just heard.
He did kind
He
of
don't want it with me all the time.
Well, hold on. So have you beaten him before?
Yes, I have.
And where? Indoor?
In Rome.
In Rome at indoor or outdoor?
No, outdoor.
Really?
Outdoor, yeah.
What year was that?
In 2013.
What was different that time? Why did you beat him in 2013?
I just study the races, man. I just study and look at how he competes, how he runs. I look at what I need to change, what my flaws are, and I try to put that into my race pattern. And it worked that time. It was a race pattern that it's almost like chess or checkers or whatever kind of game where it's a strategy where, okay, you at the top and only thousandths of a second separates you. So now you got to figure out, you know, is my shoulder over rotating? Is my ankle not lifting right?
That's
those kind
crazy.
of things, man. Like those things are going to be able to get you to the finish line quicker. Like last year, you know, I was winning all the races throughout the whole year. I'm number one in the world last year when it comes to races all over the world. But when it came down to the one race, you know, the world championship, he beat me by 1/100th of a second. And that's the closest anybody has ever been.
You ever
to
just turn
Usain.
around and on the middle of national TV just go, that's that bullshit.
You want to so bad, man. You want to so bad. So bad, man.
100th of a second. Because it's
That's
funny.
so crazy.
And it's interesting too because you add up those hundredths of a second and you seem like a great guy who's very happy with your life. So it doesn't seem like this would upset you. But like those hundredths of a second are the difference between you being Justin Gatlin, one of the few Olympians that we've heard of, let's be honest, and Usain Bolt, who's one of the most famous Olympians of all time.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a few hundredths of a second added up over time.
It's quicker than you can snap your finger.
Like that must be a weird feeling because in one sense you kind of like, I heard the respect from you out of the gate. You're like, I want to tell my grandkids I raced against this man.
Oh, yeah.
That's the ultimate respect. But then on the other side, you're 1 centimeter from being as good or better as Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
No other sport is like that. There's a distance between Tom Brady and the next quarter. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's a
facts.
totally different thing.
It gets frustrating sometimes, but our world is a second in our world is a mile. Like literally, like if you beating somebody by a second, like you crushing them.
I mean, it's disgusting.
Crushing them.
How much, I mean, Americans are spoiled on a lot of levels, right? And we've had world-class sprinters in the Olympics, like, I mean, forever. Like, that's, how much of, you know, you beating Usain Bolt, you know, him being, at, you know, for Jamaica and just everything that he is for the sport, you beating him, what does that do for you as an American runner? Like, can you articulate the magnitude of that? Because we've obviously had the Michael Johnsons and the people who are just like these American celebrities, you know, Carl Lewis, right? What does that do at this point, at this stage of your career? What do you know what that means?
Well, I mean, I take myself out the equation, like being a selfish person and think about I want to win and I want to do it for America. You know, I want to do it for, you know, the people who are really rooting with the American flags out there and they don't care really who's on the line. It could be me or the next person, because American sprinters come dime a dozen. But I see that it's my responsibility right now to be able to bring that back to America. And that's what I really want to do. You know, no disrespect to anybody, no disrespect to the Jamaicans and Trinidadians and everyone else who is out there running hard. But, you know, I got to show that I have a patriotic side to myself. So when I get up there and line up in Rio, I'm American. I got to do what I have to do. So.
Yeah, it's just, I think about it and I just, sometimes as Americans, we get so many gold medals and we have so much success that we take it for granted. Some of the, you know, the greatness that we have running for us in the Olympics. And you look at a country, some of the smaller countries that don't have the teams that we have or the amount of people even going to the games in all of the different sports, right? So it's so much more that Usain reps for Jamaica. And I wonder how much of that wind in his sails is what carries him sometimes. And I'm looking at you and I'm like, damn, yo, like I need you to feel that same thing when you get up to the line, like that extra oomph that.
You're getting fired up right now.
I'm a little bit.
But that's what it is, though. I mean, when you think about it, you know, he has a whole country on his back, you know, so that puts pressure on him to go out and do what he needs to do.
And you got to
know?
rise to the occasion. Like, you got to get out there and do it.
Yeah,
Because
you know-
he knows that his success reverberates the entire country. Like the entire
They're
thing.
in the street. People out in the street.
Yes.
Yeah, his not even his country, but his culture. Because now you're thinking about Jamaicans are living here in New York, or
Worldwide.
Jamaicans are living in
London.
Florida, London, everywhere. So they're all taking in that pride. So as an American, a sprinter, we're just used to saying, okay, I'm just repping BK. So and then people over in Queens be like, well, whatever, we don't care about BK. So it's like now I think that what I'm trying to usher in as an Olympian is that it's about America, like all of us from West Coast, East Coast, down south, up north. Like when you tune in, you looking at that USA across my chest, and I'm representing you. So I want that same feeling that a Usain would have, or anybody else from a different country will have that pride. So when they get on the start line, we get on the start line, those next future people that's coming up, those future sprinters, they want to be able to get that torch from me and say, all right, it's about America, and we're doing the same.
Now, do you feel it's got to be interesting with America in the current situation that we're in, right? There's a lot of turmoil. And we've been spending a lot of time talking about Black Lives Matter, about police brutality, and now about these horrible acts by psychotic lunatics against the police. There's a lot of, we have a crazy presidential race with candidates who a lot of people aren't, one in particular, who people are really not particularly, crazy about. So is it a different sort of feeling for you in one sense, of course, just tell me about that. The pride as an American, does all that stuff go away when you put on that red, white, and blue? How does it feel to represent the country during a really interesting time?
I can tell you when I step into a stadium, and it doesn't even matter, it can be the Olympics or World Championships, and you see a small section that has maybe 8 people who are waving this big American flag, while the whole stadium is like going for Jamaica or going for China or a totally different country, you know what I mean? And they're just surrounding the United States, basically, these people with these flags. And when you see that flag, you get energized because it don't matter if it's 80, 80,000, 800, those 8 people right there are giving you energy. Because, when you step on a line, you have people who are there to represent you. And most of those people there are white people. But they're looking at you like, they're looking at me like I'm their son or their brother or their father, and they're saying, we want you to go out there and do the best you could do for
You're
us.
their hero.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah, I'm their hero at that point in time, and they want to see me do the best I can do for all of us.
Well, as people, we forget also in moments like this as a country. I wish that for one moment people could have a flashback to 9/11, right? Because after 9/11, nothing mattered. For just a couple days, race didn't matter. We were all American. And now it seems like we're also divided within America. It must be actually nice to kind of be an Olympian where you get to forget about all that for a second because ultimately, like we've been criticizing this country so much, but no one in this room wants to trade this to go be somewhere else.
Never.
This is the only country I want to be in.
When I love going around the world every year, Paris, France, Japan, Rome, everywhere. And I love spending time there, but when I get off that plane and I touch down in America, it's no other place like America, man. It's no other place like America.
And, just like any family, right? You're going to have your problems.
It's true.
Any family, anywhere that can hear our voice right now. You have family that y'all go at it for whatever the reason is, but it's still your family.
Of course.
Yeah, well, and in the case of black people in America, it's like you're the child. It's like you're Danny on Bloodline. It's like your dad's always kind of treating you like shit, and you just want approval from dad, but you still love this place and want to be here. You just want to be accepted. You know what I'm saying?
You want people to stop treating you like shit and take you for granted.
Right, but that doesn't mean that you don't want to be a part of the family.
Matter of fact, you want to be a part of it so much, you continue to keep working to be accepted.
Right.
Despite the fact that everybody wants to, it feels like everybody sometimes wants to remind you that, oh yeah, you're not good enough. You are 3/5 of a man on paper.
Here we go.
And you're like, yeah, but I'm still here though, and I'm still working, I'm still contributing. Right. You shouldn't treat us like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, when I think about the situation, it's not about a fight between black lives or all lives. Because last time I checked, no black person has said all lives don't matter, only black lives matter.
Of course.
That's not the truth. The truth is that we just want equality when it comes to...
You want to matter as much as everyone else matters.
And this is a life or death situation. It's not like a slap on the wrist or you get put away and you get out or you get a fine. There's people out here dying on both sides. People who are supposed to serve and protect us, you know what I mean, are dying, and they are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers. they can never go home to their family. On the other side, innocent people who are just in a routine situation are dying and can't go home to their family or dying in front of their family. And this is a sad situation. It needs to be corrected. And the thing is, let's be honest. Crazy has always been around.
Well said, Justin. Yes.
The only thing is that we're able to be closer to it because of media, social media, the news, all this kind of stuff picks up on it so easy and so quickly, and it ignites craziness to be even more crazy now. Like people say, okay, I want to feed off this crazy and do something crazy too. So by us being the sane people, we need to be able to like, all right, we need to band together and come together and stop all this. Because if it's not, it's going to be a trend. Trends are trends now. You know, that's where everybody rides.
It's a really good point, though. It's so important. The reasonable and sane people of every variety, black, white, police, non-police, are who needs to come together in this situation. Because that's what we're up against. We're up against people who are not sane and not reasonable. And both of those separately, meaning people like the guy who did the killing yesterday, who's insane.
Clearly.
And then people who I see on my Instagram commenting about, things like, oh, good, the cops took one. Or black people, if they didn't do this, the cops wouldn't do. Those are the people who are unreasonable, right? We're up against the insane and the unreasonable.
Yeah, I'm not built from the place where, and I don't think most people are, where you want to see people die.
Nobody does.
And we've been saying it a while too, talking about these automatic weapons on the streets and access to all this artillery. Like, you still got the NRA sitting out here quiet.
They still haven't said it.
Nothing.
There's no
They've said
official statement on
nothing.
anything.
Nothing.
Not that I've seen.
They just sweep it under the rug. The whole mental health issue, sweep it under the rug, act like it doesn't exist.
So they can't even make a statement about the two, Dallas and Baton Rouge. I mean, because at first everyone was waiting for them to comment on Alton Sterling and Philando Castile.
Well, Philando specifically because he had his license to carry and still.
Right, Sterling's gun wasn't legal because he was a felon, but Castile's gun was legal, completely legal. So people expected them to comment on that. They haven't commented. And now you certainly would think that they would comment on the killing of police officers. But
and in both of these circumstances, these were veterans who went and
with
served
legal weapons as well,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
And not only that, but the one in Texas, he walked down the street with it legally.
Yeah.
Also, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I love that we're going to get to see you perform and we'll just get to be proud of you and be like, that represents us. That's an awesome feeling, man.
I appreciate that.
Well, and now, and with everything we just discussed and the fact that Usain Bolt he's won the gold in the 100-meter dash with the last two Olympics?
Yes. Yeah.
Consecutive?
Yeah.
So
You want to spoil
the pressure's
history.
on you now.
Yeah.
So if I can, knock on wood, praise Lord Jesus, everybody. But
Anybody that's listening.
if I go out there, we'll be even 2-2 in the 100. I can be able to sit back, hopefully retire, and have 2 gold medals around my neck and do what I need to do and bring it back to America.
I hear your
man.
son's pressuring you a lot about beating Usain Bolt, though.
Oh man, he pressured me to beat everybody. That's him.
How does he do it? He's only 6.
He go out there and be like, "All right, Dad, you better win." No, he don't call me Dad. He's Daddy. He's, all right, Daddy, you got to go out there and win. You got to win for me. When he says stuff like that, man, when your kid says stuff like that, how can you go out there and not try to win?
You got to do the best you can.
You got to do the best you can, man.
How did we're gonna wrap up after this, but I want to know, how did you know you wanted to run? Was that something you always wanted to do, or you wanted to play ball, or you was doing something else and you just fell into track and field? What happened?
Man,
Because you're from Brooklyn over here, and then you moved to Florida, right?
I played a lot of basketball growing up here, and then once I'm a military brat, and then once we moved down to Florida, basketball wasn't really strong like that, and I was just crushing competition. Then I had a hairline fracture in my ankle, and it kind of turned me off of basketball for a little while, and I picked up track. But from then, I always knew I was fast. I was breakaways and everything like that. I was on the other side of the court before the whole team, on the other side of the court. And then I knew that racing kids, I mean, they were still on bicycles, and I was on foot, and I was still beating them, So I knew I was always fast, but then I never knew track and field even existed until I watched the 1996 Olympics. And then I was like, man, you can do this? I was like, all right, cool. I can go to college for this? All right, cool. So those were a series of my most adult situations and choices that I've made throughout, my adolescent years. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to college and get a scholarship so my parents don't have to pay no loans. All right, cool. I can make a living for this, so this is what I'm gonna make my living from.
And how do you make the living? Is it sponsorship?
Yeah,
Sponsorships, yeah. I mean,
Who's your biggest sponsor?
Nike.
Big ups. Who's your next biggest?
We're working on a watch deal now.
Okay, a watch deal.
Yeah.
Hello. That would be nice. So what do you do when you retire?
Work with Nike.
And continue to work with other runners and be a
Continue
part
to
of their
work with other
program?
runners. I mean, you have a lot of other athletes who have retired and gone back, either becoming agents or becoming broadcasters, coaches, exactly. So, I'm leaning toward more the broadcasting area. A lot of people have asked me to do coaching or either become an agent. I help my agent out sometimes when it comes to recruiting or helping other athletes out. So, I mean, it's in my heart to give back. I just don't know exactly how I want to do it, how I'm going to be the best at it.
There you go. Justin Gatlin.
Good
Look
guy.
for them 2016, Rio. Who else is on the squad this year? Any names that we know that's running for America or anybody we should look out for? A young buck up there that you want to give props to?
Man, you're gonna see another sprinter that's gonna be with me is Trayvon Brumell. He's up and coming. He just got like college his first year as professional, already running 9.84.
What's the world record in the 100 right now?
9.5. Not that in our world is far, but I mean to the regular eye, that's not far.
Right.
But
Well,
it's a lot of work that's gonna go into that. Someone who is at 9.8, if they're like at 20 meters to go, 9.5 is already crossing the line. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So, but at the end of the day,
What's your time right now?
I'm 9.70.
9.7.
Yeah.
Who has the record?
Usain.
That's Usain's. That's
Yeah,
Usain's
Usain's
record.
Yeah.
So you got to cut a tenth of a second right now.
If I want to go for the world record.
You just want to beat him now because he's not going to get his world record.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, he hasn't came back and broken his world record. His world record was in 2009.
Oh, he fell off, man. You about to get? Hey, Usain, we coming.
You good.
And the funniest part about Usain is that because Jamaica has such a presence in America, we all love him too, right? Like
Yeah.
Jamaica is like
In New York specifically.
Specifically here,
New York,
like-
Miami, like
So we have so much love for him. But that said, we got to come for you, my G.
I mean, how can you not love the Jamaican culture, man?
You can't
It's so
not
laid
love it.
back,
It's
so
us,
cool,
man. That's
so
us.
independent.
That's
You know
us.
what I mean? Like,
that's our people.
I love it. I've gone on vacation there many a times. I love Jamaica.
I got to admit, I watch the fellas run, but I love watching the women run.
No, it's facts.
Well, that's one thing sometimes
Watching
I
the
practice.
fellas is cool and all that, but watching the ladies
What
get
about-
out there and fly.
What
is
about practice?
so-
There. Hold on, Justin's about to tell us perv out real quick.
Oh,
What
okay.
about practice?
Sometimes when I'm at practice or relay camp, I look over, I see the ladies doing their thing, and I be like, man, I'm so glad I don't play in the NBA. This is one reason I'm glad I'm playing in the NBA. This is one reason I'm glad I'm playing in the NFL.
I got a crush on Carmelita Jeter forever.
Oh, man, you got to wait in line, man. There's so many people have crushes. Oh, man.
Damn, you just putting it all out there, huh?
I mean, shoot my
But
shot.
you know
man.
what?
Shoot the shot.
Hey,
For America.
She a bold woman. Someone like that.
Oh, she might
it's
like
gonna
it.
take a band like
You want me
that.
to- should we cut
be
this
able
up,
to
put it on the
toe tag
gram?
that
Nah,
and
let's
hold
not.
that down.
Let's not.
Guys, cut it up, put it on the gram.
Let's not. Justin Gatlin, it was great meeting you, sir,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Good luck.
Thank
this
you.
year.
Thank you.